NFL Power Rankings, Week 12. Rams join Steelers and Vikings in chasing the Eagles and Patriots. Each week, national NFL writer Mark Mask will provide his ranking of the league's 32 teams. This week, the LA Rams surge back into the top 5 on the strength of a convincing home win over the previously streaking Saints, which simultaneously knocks New Orleans back a few spots. Pittsburgh and Minnesota inch a step closer to the top of the list, where the red-hot Eagles and Patriots maintain their iron grips on number 1 and number 2, respectively. 1. Philadelphia Eagles, 10-1, last week's rank. 1. The Eagles' last 3 wins have come by 28 points each. They haven't had a single-digit margin of victory since a 5-point triumph at Carolina on October 12. Will their lack of experience in close games come back to plague them at some point? Perhaps. But if that's your biggest problem, you don't have many problems. 2. New England Patriots, 9-2, last week's rank. 2. Sunday's win over the Dolphins was routine and the Patriots are in a very good groove now. They play their next 3 games on the road, traveling to Buffalo and Miami before Week 15's highly anticipated clash with the Steelers that could determine the number 1 seed in the AFC playoffs. The Patriots are playing just as well as everybody thought they would. 3. Pittsburgh Steelers, 9-2, last week's rank. 4. When did Mike Tomlin suddenly become such a chatty coach? While Tomlin was talking up the upcoming showdown with the Patriots, the Steelers nearly slipped up Sunday night at home against the Aaron Rodgers-less Packers. That would not have been a good look. Fortunately for Tomlin, the Steelers narrowly escaped with a last-second victory. 4. Minnesota Vikings, 9-2, last week's rank. 5. Case Keenum keeps playing well and is maintaining his hold on the starting QB job. There remains no reason for coach Mike Zimmer to make a switch to Teddy Bridgewater yet. The Vikings have had a bit of break since their Thanksgiving win at Detroit, headed into difficult road tests at Atlanta and Carolina the next 2 Sundays. The Vikings, led by Case Keenum, could be the first team to play in the Super Bowl at home. 5. Los Angeles Rams, 8-3, last week's rank. 8. The Rams recovered from their loss to the Vikings to beat the Saints in impressive fashion Sunday, reinforcing the idea that they belong in the conversation about which team is the NFC's best. They get a temporary break from facing the conference's other top teams when they play Sunday at Arizona. Then it's back to the demanding portion of their schedule, with the Eagles and Seahawks on tap. 6. Carolina Panthers, 8-3, last week's rank. 7. The Panthers keep finding ways to win. But if they're going to be a legitimate contender for NFC supremacy, they need QB Cam Newton to be more consistent as a passer. They need TE Greg Olsen's surgically repaired foot to be sound enough for him to return to being Newton's security blanket. And they need rookie RB Christian McCaffrey to be a versatile and dynamic part of the offense, game in and game out. Masked by middling play, off-field missteps, the Panthers lurk near the top of the NFC 7. New Orleans Saints, 8-3, last week's rank. 3. Their winning streak is over, thanks to the defeat in LA, but there's no time for the Saints to lament that loss with an NFC South showdown with the Panthers coming up on Sunday in New Orleans. 8. Atlanta Falcons, 7-4, last week's rank. 9. The Falcons have regrouped with 3 straight wins. They are clearly the league's best third-place team, which just might be enough to get them into the playoffs. But their schedule gets difficult down the stretch. Atlanta hosts the Vikings on Sunday, and still must face the Saints twice and the Panthers once. 9. Seattle Seahawks, 7-4, last week's rank. 13. The once fearsome secondary is decimated and there's little reason to believe that the Seahawks remain a major threat in the top-heavy NFC. Sunday night's matchup at home with the Eagles should be telling in that regard. Seahawks Cam Chancellor is officially out for the season. 10. Baltimore Ravens, 6-5, last week's rank. 11. The passing game remained unsightly Monday night. But the Ravens had the benefit of facing Tom Savage and the Texans, and got the win they needed to remain very much in the AFC wildcard race. 11. Los Angeles Chargers, 5-6, last week's rank, 16 being the second-best NFL team in LA is not such a bad thing at the moment. The Chargers are playing well and are probably the top team in the surprisingly downtrodden AFC West. NFL Thanksgiving, the Chargers look like a playoff team. 12. Tennessee Titans, 7-4, last week's rank, 12 The Titans have pulled back even with the Jaguars. Everything appears to be setting up for the division title to be on the line when the two teams face one another in the regular season finale in Nashville. 13.